Hello students, hope you are doing well. So in today's lecture we will see the demonstration of different visibility modes in C++. So before going to this lecture, I'll just request you to kindly watch the previous lecture of visibility mode. Okay, so if you are not aware of the visibility modes and if you haven't seen my previous lecture on visibility modes, then this concept or understanding this particular program will be very difficult for you and you will be confused. Okay, so before progressing to this particular lecture or before trying this particular program, you must see the lecture that I have demonstrated yesterday. Okay, so on the basis of the concept of the lecture that I have delivered yesterday, I will be implementing the concept with the help of a program here. Okay, so let's start. So I have just created a class and I have named it as a base. So inside this I just create a data member. Okay, and by default this data member is of type private because I haven't declared, I haven't specified any specifier. Okay, so in C++, if we don't specify any access specifier, then by default C++ count it as a private access specifier. Okay, so now what I'll do, I'll just create another class that is derived. Okay, and I'll just write private base. Okay, so if you don't want to write private here, so if you just write base, then also it will be counted as a private mode. Okay, so now what is being done, the mode of inheritance is private. Okay, now the derived class is inheriting the features of its successor, or the, you can say, features of its parent class, okay, in a private mode. Okay, so I just create some, you can say, method. So I just write, for example, public. Okay, and I just create a method here. So let us say the name of the method is set derived. Okay, and inside this I just create a local variable y. So if I just write a equal to y, okay, so I have just initialized the data member of the base class. Okay, and it has been initialized with the help of the local object. Okay, so now what I'll do, I'll just create main. So a main has been created, and inside main what I'll be doing, I'll be just creating the object of the derived class. Okay, so you have to remember that in inheritance, when we are working with inheritance, so we will create the object of the derived class because it will contain the features of the base class also. Okay, in order to, you can say, reduce the complexity, or you can say we are saving our time by reusing the code. Okay, so code reusability is there because the object of the derived class will contain all the attributes of the base class also. Okay, that I have discussed in my earlier lectures. So I'll just write the, I'll just write derived, okay, ob. So now I have created the object of the derived class. So if I just write, if I just call ob dot set derived, okay, and inside this if I just pass 20, okay, so what does it mean? It means that now I have invoked a method of my derived class with the object of the derived class itself. Okay, so now, let's, this is a basic program. Okay, this is a basic program based on the concept. So now what is being, what is being, you can say, interpreted in this program, this derived class is inheriting the properties of its base class in private mode. Okay, so you have to, you have to just remember the diagram or the figure number 2 that I have discussed in my earlier lecture. Okay, so before, before watching this particular lecture, kindly, just memorize the concept of the different visibility modes, or you can just take down your copies and just draw that particular figure. Okay, and on the basis of that particular figure or diagram, just try to analyze this code. Okay, so if the mode of inheritance is private, then this private will not be inaccessible. Okay, private data members of the base class are inaccessible in derived class that we have discussed. Okay, so kindly refer to the figure. Okay, so what I am doing here, I am just accessing the private data member of the base class. Okay, so here you can see in the derived class, okay, in this derived class, the private data member, that is A. Okay, so the private data member A is being accessed here. Okay, so it will result in an error. Okay, so the compiler will say that you can't access the data member A because it is private in the base class. And as per the definition of inheritance, the private data members are inaccessible in the derived class. Okay, so if I try to compile this code, so it will result in an error. Okay, so here you can see the error is at line number 17. Okay, and it says that A is private within this context because you are trying to access, okay, the particular member of the base class, okay, that cannot be, okay, accessible in the derived class. Okay, so how it can be done, okay, how it can be accessed, or what are the mechanisms, or what are the, you can say, solutions to solve this particular problem. So we will come to the solution later on. So first of all, I will just, okay, memorize the concept, okay, of all the modes of inheritance. So let us try to, okay, convert, or let us try to modify this particular code, and let us write, okay, instead of private, let us write protected here. Okay, so if the mode of inheritance is protected, so this is protected. Okay, so again I request you to please keep that particular figure or diagram with you and try to analyze this code, okay, and try to understand this code with the help of that particular diagram, because all the concepts are taken from that particular diagram only. So now if the mode of inheritance is protected, okay, so here I haven't changed anything, but I have just changed the visibility mode as protected. So as per the figure, if the mode of inheritance is protected, then the private data members are inaccessible. Okay, the protected data members of the base class will become the protected data members of the derived class. The public data members of the base class will also become the protected data members of the base class. But here, so I haven't created any member functions in my class. Okay, that thing I have just, okay, keep it for you, that you just try to create some member functions, and on the basis of that particular figure just try to analyze, okay, the code. Okay, so let us suppose if the mode of inheritance is protected, then again this private will be inaccessible. Okay, this private will be inaccessible, so kindly refer to the particular figure number 2. Okay, so if I again try to compile this program, then same error will be there. Okay, it says that it is not accessible. Okay, so again you can see the same error is there, that private A is private within this context. Okay, because I am trying to access the private data member of the base class, and private is always, okay, inaccessible in the derived class. Okay, it can't be accessed. Okay, this you have to remember. If I change this to public, okay, so also now there will be no change. Okay, because as per the figure, if the mode of inheritance is public, then private is inaccessible in the derived class, and the public members of the base class will become the public members of the derived class. Protected members of the base class will become the protected members of the derived class. So if I try to run this code again, so same error will be there, there will be no change. Okay, again you can see same error is there. Okay, there is no change. Okay, so irrespective of public, private and protected, you can see there is no change in our code when the data member is private. Okay, because we can't access private data members directly. Okay, in the derived class we cannot access private data member directly outside the class. Okay, we also can't create the object, we can't, okay, we also can't use it like this. I can't write like ob dot a equal to, so we know the properties of, okay, classes and objects, that if there is any data member that has been declared as private, then it cannot be accessed directly with the help of an object. You have to create some member functions in order to access it. Okay, and the member functions are the part of the same class. So again, if you try to, you can say, compile this, then it will again, okay, throw an error. Okay, so there is an error here, and also, okay, the error is at, okay, line number 23. It says that this is private within this context. Okay, so you can't, okay, invoke it like this. Okay, now I'll just omit this. Okay, I'll just omit this. If I just write, okay, instead of private, if I just, okay, write protected access specifier. Okay, if I just write it as protected, so now the data member of the base class has been, okay, in a protected mode. Okay, now we have created a protected specifier, and now a is a part of protected. Okay, but here it is private. The mode of inheritance is private. Okay, so now let's see what changes are there in our program. Okay, so kindly again refer to the figure, and as per the figure, okay, as per the figure, if the base class, if in the base class, okay, there are protected data members or protected member functions, or members are protected, and if the mode of inheritance is private. So here the mode of inheritance is private, because I haven't written anything, it means by default it is private. You can also write private here. If the mode of inheritance is private, then the protected data members will be, okay, treated as a private data members in the derived class, or the derived class will see the protected data members of the base class as the private data members of the derived class, as well as the public data members of the base class will be treated as, or will be seen by the derived class as the private data members. Okay, so the protected or the public data members will now become the private members of the derived class. Okay, so now this a will become private here. Okay, now the a will become private here, and we know that the private data members can be accessed within the same class. Okay, the private data members can be accessed within the same class, this you know. Okay, so now what will be the output? Now there will be no error. Okay, now there will be no error, because private, okay, because private data members can be accessed within the same class. Okay, it can be accessed within the same class. Okay, so let's try to compile this, and here you can see the compilation has finished and there are no errors, because now this a has become a private member of the derived class, and we are accessing the private members within the same class. Okay, so now this a has been accessed inside the same class. Okay, inside the same class I am accessing it, I am not accessing it outside the class. Okay, so I'll just write, okay, cout. Let us suppose if I try to see the value of a, so I just write value of a, and so if I try to execute it, okay, so let's try to compile it again, and if I try to execute it, then you can see that it has resulted in an output that value of a is 20. Okay, so if I try to write like this, okay, something like this, that ob.a equal to 20, then it will surely result in an error, because a is protected. Okay, a is protected, and we know that we can't, okay, access the protected members outside the class. Okay, kindly refer, okay, figure number 1. Okay, figure number 1, we have, okay, created different contexts, that within the class, okay, outside the class, and derived class. So protected members can be accessed, okay, within the class. Protected members can be accessed in the derived class, but we cannot access protected members outside the class. And here what we are doing, we are accessing the protected members outside the class with the help of object directly. So it will result in an error. Okay, so it will result in an error. Okay, it says that a is protected within this context, so it cannot be accessed. Okay, so this you have to remember. Okay, both the tables you have to remember. You have to just understand both the tables, and then you have to apply the concepts based on that table in this particular program. Okay, now, okay, what I'll be doing, okay, if I just write, for example, if I just write protected here. Okay, so if I just write protected here, then can you tell me what will be the change? Okay, if I just write protected here, so can you tell me, you just okay see the program and kindly just guess that what will be the change. Will it result in an error, or will there will be some output? So there will be no change. Okay, there will be no change as per the table or as per the figure 2. Okay, now the mode of inheritance is protected. Okay, and in protected mode, what it will be doing, okay, the protected members of the base class will become the protected members in the derived class. Okay, and we know that the protected members can be accessed in the derived class. So now this A will become okay protected in the derived class also. And yes, we know that the protected members, okay, the protected data members, the protected data members can be accessed within the same class and in the derived class. Okay, so there will be no error. So if I try to just okay compile this code, so it won't result in an error. Here you can see it has been successfully compiled. Okay, and if I try to execute this, then again you can see the output is A is 20. Okay, so now if I just change it to public, okay, if the mode of inheritance is public, so I am trying to okay demonstrate all the modes here. Okay, so if the mode of inheritance is public, so again just refer the figure number 2. If the mode of inheritance is public, it means the protected data members of the base class will become the protected data members of the derived class. The public data members of the base class will become the public members of the derived class. So here again this A will become protected here, and the protected members are accessible in the derived class and they are not accessed outside the class. Okay, so it means that we cannot okay we cannot access it with the help of object directly, but we can access it in the derived class. So again there will be no change. Okay, you will again get an output. Okay, that is the output of A. The value of A is 20. Okay, so I hope now okay you understood this concept. Okay, so if I just convert it to public, then you know that okay members can be accessed inside the class. Okay, the public data members can be accessed in the derived class. The public data members can be accessed outside the class. So here you can see A can be accessed okay in the derived class. Okay, so if I just omit this, so the program will successfully compile. Okay, there will be no error because now A will become okay if the mode of inheritance is public and this is also public, so obviously A will become okay public here and it can be easily accessed, and we can also access this A outside the class also. Okay, so if I just write ob dot A equal to 100, okay, and if I just write cout, you can say ob dot A, and I just give a new line, so there will be no error here because now this A is public and public can be accessed outside the class also. So if I try to just execute this, so there will be no error. Okay, so here you can see the output is 100 and value of A is 20. Okay, so now A has two values. I hope you understood this concept. So now coming back to the original problem that we are facing. Okay, so if okay if this is private, okay, and let us suppose this is private, okay, or you can just write public also. Okay, if you just write public private protected, then it won't result in an okay it won't result in any change. Okay, because here we have just declared this as private. Okay, so now if this A is private and we the mode of inheritance is public private or protected, then it will result in an error because it says that this A is inaccessible. Okay, because we know that the data members that are declared as private in the base class cannot be accessed directly in the derived class. So what will be the solution? Okay, so the main solution will be you have to create some member functions in the base class, because member functions are the only thing that will okay try to invoke the private data members indirectly. Okay, and we have seen this in our earlier concepts also, that if we are trying to create a class and if you are trying to create some data members private, then on the contrary we are also creating some member functions that are public. Okay, that are public, because if we are creating the member functions public, then these member functions can be accessed with the help of the object of the same class. And what it is doing, it is indirectly invoking the private data members of the same class. Okay, so here there is a choice for you. Okay, either you can create a member function of type public, or you can create a member function of type protected, because now there is a new access specifier here, that is protected. So I'll be just using protected. Okay, and I'll just create a member function, for example void set base. Okay, so I have just created a member function void set base, and I'll just create a local variable x, and I'll just assign a equal to x here. Okay, but now in main what I have to do, I have to just create the object of the derived class. Okay, so this has been created. Okay, so let's try to comment this. So what I'll be doing, I'll be just removing this particular thing because this is not required now. Okay, so inside this derived, I will be invoking the method that is set base. Okay, so I'll be invoking set base here, and what I'll be passing y inside this. Okay, so you will be knowing that why I have just implemented it like this. So you will be knowing this particular thing. So what I'll be doing now, so here you can just see we have created a member that is set base, and we have just initialized the private member with the help of the local variable. But if I directly write ob dot set base, if I directly write ob dot set base, and if I write anything like 20, 30, if I just pass any value, then this will throw an error. This will throw an error because it is evaluating the concept of inheritance. So kindly refer that particular figure. Now it says because this ob is what? It is the object of the derived class. And what we are doing, we are invoking the method of the base class with the object of the derived class. And what is the specifier of this particular set base? This set base has been declared in a protected mode, and we know that the members that are declared as protected cannot be accessed directly outside the class with the help of an object. So if I try to invoke it like this, and if I want that I should get an output, then it will result in an error. So I'll just see. I just executed, and it says that a is a private within this context, because now it is we have also used a. So I just omit this for now, and again I'll just try to compile this, and I just want you to just focus on this particular error. It says that set base is protected within this context, because this set base is the method of the base class, and it is protected, and you are directly invoking a protected member outside the class. So that's why compiler is throwing an error that you can't access the protected members directly. So now what you have to do, you have to invoke this member. You have to invoke this member inside the derived class, because we know that if the mode of inheritance is public, then the protected data members or the protected member functions or the members that are declared as protected in the base class will become protected in the derived class. So this is protected, mode of inheritance is public, then this set base will be viewed as protected in the derived class. And yes, now the derived class can access it. It can be accessed in the derived class, so we can call it directly here. It can be accessed in the derived class. It can be accessed in the derived class, but not outside the class. It can be accessed only in the derived class or in the base class in which it is protected. But it cannot be accessed directly outside the class with the help of object. So now we can access it here, but we cannot access it here. We cannot access it like set base. Okay, so this will result in an error. So what we'll do, we'll just remove this, and what we'll do now, we will invoke the method of the derived class. So we will just invoke set derived and we'll just pass a value. So when this method set derived will be invoked, okay, by the object, so okay, the control will be in the derived class. Okay, so this value will be passed here. Okay, and inside this we have called set base. Okay, inside the derived class we can access the set base method because it is protected. Okay, it is protected member of base class, and it will be the protected member of the derived class because the mode is public. Okay, so now we can access it. So this value will be transferred, this 20 will be transferred to this set base. So it will be like set base 20, and this will be called. So the call will be transferred to the base class, and okay, this 20 will be okay transferred to this particular x, and it will be assigned to a. Okay, and this will be assigned to a, and we can okay, we can see the value, like we can write cout, okay, value of a, and here we will just write a. So if I try to execute this, okay, so now it will not show any error. You can see it has successfully compiled, and now you can see the output as value of a is 20. Okay, so in this way you can resolve the error. Okay, you can indirectly call okay the method of the base class if it is protected because it is accessible in the derived class, and with the help of the method of the derived class, okay, you can invoke it with the help of the object of the derived class, and the particular thing will be okay done. So you have to remember the concept and you have to remember the figures. Okay, so you can also if you just change it to protected, then also there will be no change. Okay, it will be same. Okay, because protected will become the protected in the derived class. Okay, so the output will be same, there will be no change. So here you can see the output will be same, there will be no change. Okay, or if you just made this as private, mode of inheritance is private, then it can be accessed in the derived class, but it cannot be accessed in the outside the class. Okay, so the protected member will be accessed in the derived class because now it is private, so private member can be accessed within the same class only. Okay, but it cannot be accessed outside the class. So here you can see there will be no change. Okay, and the output will be same. Okay, so in this way, okay, I have discussed all the modes of inheritances. Okay, so if you just try to focus this program, and if you try to just memorize, or if you try to visualize the figures that I have discussed in yesterday's okay lecture, then you can solve any problem of inheritance, okay, irrespective of any visibility mode. Okay, so this is the concept. So try to okay create your own programs and try to analyze the programs based on the figures. Okay, don't try to create your own concept, don't try to create your own concept, because we have to focus, we have to stick on the concept that the C++ programmers have created for us. So thanks.